So hello everyone, today in this video मैं आपको relive करके my first day in the US दिखाने वाला हूँ and the challenges I faced and how I managed my college life. तो यार सोचा तो था लाइफ बहुत ही रिलैक्सिंग होगी बट रियलिटी वाज कम्प्लीटली डिफरेंट एंड लेट्स टॉक अबाउट ऑल द चैलेंजेस आई फेल्ट from day one क्योंकि ये जो सारे challenges है I have not revealed. The real reason I'm making this video is when I compare my life today as a software engineer with 3 years of experience versus my initial days. Those are completely different in terms of my stress levels and in terms of my happiness. Don't get me wrong, मैं ऐसा नहीं कह रहा कि वो दिन बहुत ही खराब थे, but my goal is to help you not have a stressful time and not have an extremely challenging time like me in your college. So starting with number one thing was safety. So आप जब भी आते हो, there's a the moment you come to the US, there's a huge conversation about safety everywhere in the US, no matter which city you go to, whether you go to San Francisco where there are so many homeless people around you. हर जगह crime rate is very well talked about and I was really scared during my initial days as well. मैंने complete documentary बताई है why we sometimes don't feel safe in the US at all, which you can check out. But in short, I was so scared because around my campus, I used to see 10 to 15 homeless people around me every day. That's not the case with every campus. अगर आप ये Georgia Tech campus देखो जहाँ पे मैं हूँ अभी, around Georgia Tech you barely see any homeless people. But अगर आप मेरी वो वाली videos देखो, वहाँ पे आपको बहुत ज़्यादा दिखेंगे. So it depends on where you go. But it was a trauma that I had to go through क्योंकि मैंने personally Georgia Tech भी apply किया था and Georgia State भी, and I always thought like why I am at a university even though it has financial aid, scholarship, cheaper, but the overall experience is not like a top 10 university in the US जो आपको शायद Georgia Tech दे सकती है. But it wasn't like that for me and I wanted to transfer from day one. अगर आप undergrad या masters कर रहे हो, you always have an opportunity to transfer to a different university and I was preparing from day one to transfer out of that university. That was phase one of my life. Now phase two, I denied the opportunity to transfer to any better university like Georgia Tech. मैंने सोचा कि I don't want to because of fees. जब मुझे पता चल गया कि I am in the same city, I am in a big tech city where there are opportunities around me, even though it is little bit difficult for me to find because मेरी university में शायद इतनी ज़्यादा नहीं है, but the city has it. Even though it is little bit difficult, but there are. So it is more about the city as compared to the university. When I figured that out, I canceled the opportunity and I was coming to Georgia Tech for hackathons. So from first year I went to first hackathon which was at Georgia Tech. It was a surreal feeling. आप मेरे face पे smile देख सकते हो how happy I was coming to outside city, outside my university, exploring the world outside me and how things work, how professional Android developers work, how smart students work in a team. ये चीज़ करके by working in a team I learned more than any class, any project in my own university, which was the big thing. जब आपको ये चीज़ें clear हो जाती है, you realize that it is not worth overspending on a university, but it is worth spending on networking and going to your dream city for conferences, for hackathons, for competitions, for networking. ये बहुत बड़ी चीज़ है. Before moving forward, a big opportunity for you all. जब मैं US आया था, I was overpaying for my SIM card, but I am partnering today with Ultra Mobile so that you don't have to overpay because जब मेरे नानी भी आते हैं, my grandmother comes, she sometimes calls directly to India and that leads to huge roaming charges from US. But with Ultra Mobile SIM card, when you call, you can call to 80 plus countries, that also directly and that also in just a cost of $10 per month. Unlimited international calling, unlimited US calling, unlimited text messages, and that also with 5G plan, 5G internet in the US, plus Wi-Fi calling, all at a pack starting at as low as $10 per month, especially for you all. So if you are a student coming, do not miss out. And for non-students as well, it's a great deal. In my experience, international voice quality is really good as well. Because मेरे नानी के लिए भी I recommend the same. And for you all, don't overpay on SIM card and it will be a great deal to get started. with your SIM card in the US. So you can check out ultramobile.com/sing and get started right now and don't miss out. आपको पता है what my friends used to call me? Naive person.
Oh, be careful. Oh, no, no.
मुझे काफ़ी words के meaning नहीं पता. Half of the things I've learned, new words I've learned, are by living with Katie and Arpit. Videos में भी आप देखते हो, I didn't know what valet parking mean.
What a turnip? Turnip is like onion.
छोटी छोटी चीज़ें I didn't had no idea. I had to learn by accepting that I don't know. हमेशा पूछना what is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of that? मैंने दुनिया ही नहीं देखी थी जब मैं US आया, and that was a biggest gap between me learning in classroom, me learning through friends, but always I had to be a first bencher. पूछना पड़ता था, मैम what does that mean? यहाँ पे मैम सर नहीं बोलते, पर प्रोफेसर what does that mean? Miss and the last name of professor, what does this mean? केटी से पूछना, what does valet parking mean? What does this mean? जब मैंने दुनिया एक्सप्लोर ही नहीं करी थी, I learned by asking them, and that is a biggest thing you have to do as well. In fact, आपको शायद यकीन ना हो that I also didn't know what marijuana is. Weed क्या होती है? And in my room there was found by police. मेरे dorm में police came 2 times. Cops came and they were looking for marijuana, and which is illegal in my state, Georgia, United States. और तब I was very very stressed. It was the most stressful time again, and मेरे roommate को निकाल दिया जाता है, and I had to see a new roommate. I was living in hostel at that time, तो एक नया roommate मेरे साथ आता है. It was good experience in the end by living with multiple roommates, but stressful time again. अगर आपके साथ ऐसा होता है, do not risk your career. Complain to your university so that you don't get caught for wrong purpose. Now the big challenge that I faced was poor finance management. जब मैं आया था, I had basically $300 in my bank account, and I had an on-campus job. If you don't know, I applied for on-campus job from day one, working in dining hall as a middle-class person. एक बार fees आ गई घर से. I didn't want to bother my parents at all. My grandmother, my mother, who was sick at that time, I didn't want to bother them at all. So what I did was I just tried to rely on the on-campus job, which was around $400 to $500. Starting में आपको hours नहीं मिलते हैं. You have to struggle to get 20 hours a week. Many students in Canada also struggle the same. आपको हर जगह अलग-अलग जगह at different places you have to apply so that you can get 20 hours a week and you can get a good enough salary so you do not bother your parents. अब मुझे hours नहीं मिल रहे थे. I asked every single department. I got only 14 hours. Salary was $400 to $500. I was struggling to manage, so that's why I was looking for free food entire day. Plus, I was not eating well. My grocery bill, I was trying to कि यार $50 से कम रहे. Because of that, bread jam, peanut butter sandwich, and that's all I could afford. Eggs खाने से भी मुझे डर लगता था. And you can compare how I used to look then and how I look now, just because of the right diet. तब भी gym जाता था. I used to go to gym. My roommates from day one were into fitness. They inspired me. I was still going to gym, but because of bad diet, I couldn't transform myself. एक जो हमारे माइंड में होता है ना कि यार हमें हर बार कन्वर्ट करना, हर बार कंपेयर करता था कि ओके 1 USD इक्वल्स टू 60 रुपीज़ एट द टाइम, तो ये यार 600 रुपीज़ का खाना मैं कैसे खा सकता हूँ. ऑलवेज कंपेयर करना. आई यूज्ड टू गो टू सबवे, माई फेवरेट सैंडविच प्लेस, once a month. अपने आप को पुश करना कि मैं बाहर से खाना भी नहीं खाऊंगा, जितना मैं इंडिया में खाता था उससे भी कम बाहर खाता था. That led to my hair loss. That led to some of my gray hair जो कभी आपको दिख सकते हैं, because वो तभी फर्स्ट ईयर में ही आ गए थे. And then I fixed my diet, started looking after my health, अच्छे से सोना, अच्छे से अपनी डाइट का ख्याल रखना, and that was my biggest lesson. Challenge of finding cheap books. आपको हर कोई बताता है कि यार in your college you shouldn't buy books, find them online, find PDFs online. Torrent, इंडिया में हर कोई openly बात करता है, but it is not legal to torrent illegal stuff. For example, books हो गया, movies हो गया. In my first week, I got 3 notices of torrenting, and वो emails मेरे पास अभी भी है in my student email, and that scared me a lot. That was a warning I got in my student dorm. Hostel में मुझे warning आई थी, which was a big stress in my mind. मेरे नाम पे Wi-Fi था. The Wi-Fi plan in your dorm has to be on one person's name, and my roommate was also torrenting, so that led to 3 warnings. I was so stressed about it. That was the most stressful days of my life. सोने में दिक्कत आती थी, और ये challenges को beat करने के लिए I read online कि worst come to worst क्या होगा from a possibility, तब आपको पता चल जाता है कि why you should be worried, what's the worst outcome. Then I realized the worst outcome is basically when you do it 6 times, your Wi-Fi might be disconnected. तो फिर I relax हो गया, फिर मैंने कहा कि चलो रूममेट के साथ we will get a different Wi-Fi plan. It's not a big deal. That's how I calmed myself down. Otherwise I was so scared the whole time कि यार legal action हो सकता है मेरे लिए, my record will be spoiled, and that was the most stressful thing I did. Next, होम सिकनेस. माना जाता है कि अगर आप अपने आप को ऑब्जर्व करो व्हेन यू वॉचिंग अ बॉलीवुड मूवी वर्सेस अ हॉलीवुड मूवी या फिर मूवी आउटसाइड योर कल्चर, मेजॉरिटी ऑफ यू ऑल विल से कि जब आप अपने तरह की मूवी, अपने घर जैसे इन्वायरमेंट वाली मूवी, अपने शहर से एसोसिएट वाली मूवी देखते हो, you have a bigger smile, more happiness on your face visible as compared to when you're watching movie outside your culture because of sense of relatability. वैसा ही यूएस में होता है. It's like you are in a completely different culture which you cannot connect every day. एक बार दो बार अच्छा लगता है, but after a period of time you realize it's not my home. It is not the real friends I have. आपको अपने जैसे ही दोस्त अच्छे लगते हैं at the end of the day, and you miss them. You miss the food, you miss the culture, and you feel like going back to India many times. आपको लगता है why you started this journey, और उसको कंट्रोल करने के लिए you have to fight. मुझे याद है यार कि अपने आप को मैंने बहुत पुश किया. I literally cried when I did not go to India in December. अपने पेरेंट्स को इतना मिस करता था कि मैं क्यों नहीं गया. मुझे लगता है कि if you have the budget, go to India often. Like do not push yourself too hard. जब अपने आप को अपने रिलैक्स्ड टाइम से बहुत दूर कर देते हो, you forget how relaxed time works. You go into a constant stress zone. वैसा आपको नहीं करना चाहिए. सबसे खतरनाक दिन मेरे लिए वो था when I got 0 in my assignment. वो एक ऐसा दिन था I was caught in plagiarism. Not because I cheated, because I gave my assignment to a friend and उसने पूरा कॉपी कर लिया without changing a variable, and I got 0. My friend got 0. एंड आई वॉज सो वरीड अबाउट इट. एक हफ्ते तक मैं सोचता रहा कि हाउ टू फिक्स इट. मैं प्रोफेसर से भीख मांगता था, प्लीज़ फॉरगिव मी, इट वॉज इन माई फॉल्ट, आई विल नो नेवर डू दैट अगैन. एंड यू नो वॉट हैपेंड इन द एंड? प्रोफेसर ड्रॉप्ड द लोएस्ट असाइनमेंट ग्रेड, एंड उससे फ़र्क ही नहीं पड़ा मेरे ग्रेड को. सो यू नो समटाइम्स व्हेन यू क्राई ओवर स्मॉल थिंग्स, मुझे अभी भी लगता है you never have to worry too much about academics. You have to worry too much about networking, finding jobs, internships, and your self growth. अगर आप इस पे ज़्यादा prioritize करते हो, and number one thing मेरे लिए which has changed my life is my communication skills. मैं English में बिल्कुल भी अच्छा नहीं था. If you have to just see my oldest videos और मेरा दूसरा चैनल देखोगे, आपको immediately पता चल जाएगा how bad I was in speaking English. And by reading good books, by talking to more people, I became calm. मैं आराम से बोलने लग गया. And this is the biggest skill which has helped me change my life to get into my dream job. क्योंकि इंटरव्यू अच्छा इसी कारण गया. The biggest reason why I was good at interview was mainly because of communication skills and then programming. अगर आप कोई भी जॉब देख लो, 60 to 70% of that is your personality, your communication skills, and then your skill set. तो communications पे सबसे ज़्यादा आपको फोकस करना चाहिए.